Hello there guys, and welcome back to another review. And today we will be taking a look at the 2021 Collector Neovenator Scenting Prey. Now, Neovenator, which name means new hunter, is a genus of Carcharodontosaurian theropod that lived in the early Cretaceous period 130 to 125 million years ago in what is now the Isle of Wight. Now, it measured around 7.6 metres long and is estimated to have weighed around 1 to 2 tonnes. Now, there are fragmentary remains that suggest an animal possibly reaching 10 metres, but it's unknown if these remains are attributable to Neovenator or if they in fact belong to a completely different animal. We don't know yet. Now, on the Isle of Wight, it lived in the Wessex Formation, which is a very famous early Cretaceous fossil site, which also contains Iguanodon, Mantellosaurus, Polacanthus, Eotyrannus, Hypsilophodon, and Baryonyx. Now, this isn't the first time that Collector has actually produced a Neovenator figure, but I'd say it's definitely one of the more up-to-date versions, though it is rather small. So without further ado, let's take a closer look at the head. Now, the head sculpt has been very, very nicely done. It's been nicely picked out. We have, of course, the two lacrimal crests up at the top of the head, quite possibly used for display. The eye's been nicely picked out in this glossy black. You can even see the nostrils there on the yellow tip. As you can see, that the colour scheme is very bright. The mouth and the eyes have been decked out in this bright yellow, and the head has got this nice variations of green, with also these light brown spikes. These spines go from the back of the head all the way down to the tip of the tail, and we also have a couple of light brown spines on the underside of the neck, sort of acting like a bit like a beard. But of course, I have the better beard. The mouth, as you see, is actually closed, and I really like that Collector are doing more of this. So actually it's got its head tilted upwards, as of course the title suggests, it is scenting for prey. We have the ear holes, they've been nicely picked out as well, one on the side, and there's another one right there. There's some nice scale detail on there as well. There's even, you can see like a sort of a nice wash going along the body here. Sort of like a light brownish sort of a wash, and I think that really makes it look very realistic and actually picks out a lot of the finer scale details, so I've got to commend Collector for that. Then going down from the neck, you can see we've got some nice detailing around here. You can see some of that scale work and some more of the dry brushing. Here we have the arms. We've got the 3 clawed hands equipped with large curved claws. There's some nice musculature there in the forelimbs. There's some nice muscle contortion here with the hands are pulled forward. There's also some nice muscle contortion here with the legs. Legs have been nicely picked out. Some nice musculature there for the thigh. And then downward to the ankles and the toes. Some very nice toes, they're nicely detailed and clawed. We also, of course, have the dew claw as well. That's been nicely picked out. And we also have this long tail that helps to counterbalance weight of the animal, as it would have done in life. It's been nicely picked out with some nice stripes, these nice bright green stripes underneath. You can see there's those spines. There's some nice scalation down there. It says there, Collector Neovenator, made in China. There is, of course, a bit of a sort of a darkish brown area there, which is where the cloaca would be. And there's some more nice scalation going down to the end of the tail. So yeah, this is actually a very nicely detailed figure. Now, it is quite small, as you can see from my hand, so if you're expecting a bit of a larger figure, you might be a bit disappointed. Personally, I think this works quite well for me in my collection. There is one other aspect, which could be the feet. Now, the feet are slightly oversized, but that does mean it stands perfect on its well, it's 2 feet basically, so there won't be any tipping or anything or falling over. It will stand perfect. So I do apologise if you hear me sniffing a lot. I've just got over a cold, so there's remnants of that still there, but I'll be fine. But as I said again, the coloration I think is one of the more visually appealing aspects of this figure, with this yellow on the head and this light green contrasting with this sort of darker limeish green with the sort of brown wash going along the sides, and then this sort of lighter brown along the back. This is like one of the more brightly coloured theropods that they've done, and personally it works for me. I mean, this green and brown would help it perfectly camouflage. If it's like chasing down a Mantellosaurus, it would like hide in the brush and then leap out to try and grab its prey. But, as I have said, this isn't the first time that Collector have made a Neovenator. While there is a larger deluxe version, which they released around, I think it was 2010, before then was of course their Procon days. And here we have, as you can see, let me just lift this up, we have the original Procon figure from Collector. This was released around 2007, I think, and you can just see the differences here. I mean, the Procon one is definitely much larger, but also the head is a lot more boxier, the hands are pronated, and yeah, it's not perfect. However, I have to give them credit, it actually stands on its own 2 feet. And I have to say, well done Collector for that. I mean, this is of course a very old figure, but still, it still stood perfectly on its 2 feet. Then again, it was a bit, their feet were a bit oversized, but I digress. And, just for another comparison, here we have the current Collector members of the Wessex formation. Now, I don't own the Procon Polacanthus or Eotyrannus, they didn't really appeal to me, but this is what they have so far, and the Baryonyx, Iguanodon, they are, and the Neovenator actually are all redos, with the Mantellosaurus and Hypsilophodon family being, well, their first models. And I have to say, these all look really cool together. Now, I'm pretty sure that these aren't in scale, I think, but it's nice to at least have, you know, more or less a almost complete Wessex formation collection. But I'm really proud, I'm really pleased with this. They all look great together. So yeah, if you're in the mood to complete your Wessex formation, I definitely say the Neovenator is pretty good. Especially, in fact, all these figures are really good. Especially the Iguanodon. It's a really, really awesome figure. In all, I would say that the Collector Neovenator Scenting Prey is a nice figure. Sure, it might not win, you know, many awards for best figure ever, but in my opinion, this is a great update from the original figure. But if you already own the deluxe one, then, you know, you probably wouldn't want to pick this one up. But in my opinion, for like on my shelf space, this one is a fine addition. Sure, the oversized feet might be a little off-putting for some, but I don't mind it per se. It at least helps with balance. And yeah, there's some nice detail on it. And really, really bright colours. So if you guys are in the mood to pick up the Neovenator Scenting Prey, I will leave a link in the description box below at Everything Dinosaur, where you can purchase this figure along with all of the other figures that I have shown in the review, as well as many other figures, PNSO, Safari Limited, Rebor, Keodo. They've got a few Keodo figures on there. Anything else that you would like to add to your dinosaur model collection. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this review. Please like, comment and subscribe, and I hope to see you all in the next video. So please take care, and I hope you all have a great day. Goodbye.